So yeah, um, I want to do a challenge. That is to myself. I'm not a pastor, mimi si pastor, but kuna challenge nataka kufanya. Yeah, I want to do this. I want to read the Bible from Genesis to the last book, that is Revelation. And each and every day, I will be reading one chapter per day. I read it and I interpret it according to my own understanding. I'm doing this for my own good, and I hope I will also maybe inspire someone else. I will change someone else, but I like being close to God. I like having a pure heart. Like I want just to try to be perfect. Like can't be perfect, but no, we are going to find out if we can be perfect. If we try to understand Bible, the whole of it. So I will start with the Genesis, chapter 1. Genesis of it is the like it's just like the origin, how everything started. So chapter 1 it says, in the beginning God created the heaven and the earth. In the beginning. So meaning, what was there? What was there before the beginning? Before heaven and earth, what was there? I don't know. And the earth was without form and void, and the darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. They are saying the earth was without form. Does it mean that, okay, God created heaven and the earth? So he created the earth, but it was not with the form. It was just something like that. And the darkness was upon the face of the deep, meaning that there was darkness. So God did not create darkness. I think there was darkness before God created heaven and earth. He created heaven and earth, and then he found out that the earth was without form, but there was darkness. So meaning darkness was there before God even created heaven and earth. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. And then there is something else, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. So God is spirit. God is not something or somebody. God is just a spirit. So it just moved. It was something. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. So that is how God created light. Remember, there was darkness before light. God did not create light. God did not create darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. So after God created light, I think there was light, created light, but again there was darkness. So he called darkness night, light was day. So in short, God created day one, because day is light. And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the water from the waters. Firmament is the earth without water. Meaning that there was water, like God created earth, but there was water all over. That is according to my own understanding. God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, meaning no, to break the waters. He broke the waters because there was water all over the earth. So the earth, in the beginning, the earth was covered with the water, all of it. And God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. I'm trying to understand that. God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the water. So we have seen God created the light day, the darkness one night, and the evening and the morning the first thing. And then God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And then God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. So meaning there is waters above. I just mean the earth to separate. Like there is water above. That is why we get rain. So there is water above, and then there is water which were divided. No, there is that and there is water, but the waters were separated from where there is no water. And God called the firmament heaven. Yes, He called the firmament heaven. So heaven and the evening and the morning were the second day. So, and God called the firmament heaven. So heaven is just the firmament which is above. Heaven is the firmament which is above. And God said, let there be waters under the heaven be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear, and it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering water. Okay, let us pause for a minute. Yes, and then God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning was the second day. And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear, and it was so. So that is where He separated everything. That is where He separated the dry land and the heaven, and also the oceans, and the all of everything. And God said, let the herb bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after its kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth, and it was so. So let's try and understand that. And God said, let the herb bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after its kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth, that it was so. So that is where I think life began. That is where is everything where the life started. Because we can say He said, let there be grass, and also let there be fruit which contains the seeds, which can again grow another fruit of its kind, of the same. And the earth brought forth grass, and the yielding seed after its kind, and in the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after its kind, and God was so that was good. And the evening and the morning were the third day. So that was the third day. That was where God. That is where like life started. That is where life started. Origin of life started there. That was the third day. And God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years." Those are stars, moons, everything. And let them be for lights in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth, and it was so. That was those are they were just going to give light during the darkness, because there is darkness. But stars now are the ones which give some light during the night. And let them be. And God made two great lights, the great light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. So what is light? Light, there are two lights. Light number one is sun, which is the great one, which rules during the day. And the light number two is heaven. Is a moon, which rules during the night. So when God created light, in short, he created the moon and the sun, because that is what it says here. And then God made the two great lights, the great lights to rule during the day, and the lesser light to rule during the night. And they also made the stars. Stars are small lights. And then God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. Yeah, that is like to touch the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the night from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. So if God did not have wisdom to separate those lights, to come and appear, there could be no days. We could be always in light. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day. But there is something which is confusing. That is according to me. We have started from first day, so because they are saying when was the earth and the light, and when was the moon and the sun created? It was created on which day? The third. It was created on it was created on the fourth day. But from the beginning, they are saying that there was light, there was morning, there was evening. That was the first day. So what was providing light before he created the sun and the earth, the third day? So what was providing the light? Because he said that can be light. Yeah, there is confusion there. Let us continue. we can't understand. We can't understand everything. Maybe he created light. There was just light, but there was no sun. There was no light. There was no light. He said that there be light, but there was no sun. So it came on and disappeared during those 2 days before he created moon and the sun. So that was the 4th day when he created the light. Then he created light the sun and the light the moon and the stars. So before there was just light, but there was nothing preventing light. And in the evening and the morning was the 4th day. And God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creatures that has life, and the fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. That is now where he started creating living things. And you can see they started from the waters. So the living things first came from waters. That was the 5th day. And then God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creatures that has life, and the fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. So that is why you can't survive without water, because that is the origin of life. Life came from water. And God blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the water in the seas, and let fowl multiply in the earth. And the evening and the morning were the 5th day. And God said, let the earth bring forth the living creature that is carried, cattle, and the creeping thing, and the beast of the earth after his kind. And it was so. So not all living things came from water. The first one, he started by saying, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that has life, and the fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. So from the water, what came from water was the what is in water, like fish, and also the what flies. Everything that flies came from water, because they are saying, and the fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven. And then now, the 5th day, God said, let the earth bring forth the living creature that is carried, cattle, and the creeping thing, and the beast of the earth after his kind. And it was so. Like the all other animals, let's say the animals are made from soil, but sea creatures, birds are made from water. Like they came from water. And God made them beasts of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creeped upon the earth after his kind. And God saw that it was good. So anything that walks on earth came from earth. Anything that flies or anything that stays in the water came from water. And God said, let us make man in our image, and after our kind likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that crept upon the earth. So that is where now God created us. That is where now God created people, human beings. God said, let us make man in our image. So God was many. God, they are saying, God said, let us make man in our image. Our image. There were many. After our likeness. We are like God. So God created us like Him. Or like them. God was many. And let them have dominion. Let them, meaning God created many human beings. He did not create just one human being. He created many human beings. Because He said, let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that crept upon the earth. Yes. So God give a man or a human being powers to rule over everything, over all of His creation. So God created man in His own image, in the image of God created He him, male and female created He them. God created man in His own image, in the image of God created him, male and female. Created He them. He created a female and a male, like from Himself, from God. God created from Him. And God blessed them, and God sent into them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth. God blessed us, and sent into us, let us be fruitful, and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it. Yeah, we conquered the world, and they have dominion over the fish, over the sea, over everything. And God said, beyond, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for meat. So He said that He has given us food, that is fruits, and also meat from animals. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creeped upon the earth, where there is life, I have given every green herb for meat, every, and it was so. So, by the way, meaning that everything, like human beings, they were created to consume everything. You can take everything in earth, even force everything. You can eat everything, because He said that you can. He has given you everything. God said so. It's not me, so, but you can't go consuming everything, because you will be poisoned. Don't know why, but He said you can take everything, every herb of meat, and it was so. And God saw everything that He made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the 16th day. So the 6th day was the last part of Genesis chapter 1. So that is how everything was created. There are so many gaps in that chapter. There are so many things that we haven't understood. Well, I mean, for me, I haven't understood all of them. I think I will, maybe with time, we will be answered. We will be answered. We will know. We will know, because there are so many things that I have question marks upon them. Yes.